The Vurathi locked their borders before their children could speak. They did not travel, they did not explore. They circled their dying sun and believed themselves safe within silence. From the void, they taught only fear. They called it the scream between stars, the chaos, the corruption, the collapse of all things. And for generations, no Vurathi touched the dust beyond their atmosphere. Then came the message. It arrived quiet, like a falling feather, a narrowband transmission carried on an ancient scout probe, bouncing on frequencies so outdated the Vurathi almost didn't notice. But when they did, curiosity trembled beneath fear. A voice. Soft. Human. Hello. We come in peace. We've seen your signal, and if you'll allow, we'd like to learn. The council panicked. Old laws forbade contact. Warnings of infection, biological, cultural, moral, flashed red in every protocol. They spoke of past cataclysms, of empires shattered because they welcomed the strange. But others listened. The youth. The quiet scholars. The dreamers with dusty eyes who gazed at the stars like they weren't monsters, but promises. We should answer, one whispered. The council forbade it. So we came anyway. The humans. We did not send battleships. We sent a garden. A slow vessel grown from living alloy and solar vines. A gift ship, wrapped in petals of photosynthetic sails, trailing music. No weapons. No shields. Just libraries and soil and seeds. They watched us descend, trembling. What species would approach without caution? What kind of fool met the unknown with nothing but hope? We did. Our ship landed on the outer moon of their third gas giant, neutral ground. We waited. Doors open. Arms open. And they came. Cautious, cloaked, their delegates stepping from their own sterile skiff with breath held tight. They expected madness. Radiation. Viruses of thought. But we gave them tea. And laughter. And songs. We showed them how our children paint stars on ceilings and name comets like pets. We told stories, not of war but of loss and love, and why it's worth risking either. You are not afraid? One of them asked, voice like wind against glass. We are, we replied, but we come anyway. Fear is instinct, bravery is choice. They didn't believe us at first. They tested our ship for toxins, our stories for manipulation, our seeds for parasites, but found only orchids, and memories, and 1,000 languages offered as gifts. Still they waited, and we stayed. 1 week. 2. Then a month. We invited them to share a meal. They declined. Until one day, one young Vurathi, barely past adolescence, crept from the edge of the watching field and asked, "What's that smell?" It was cinnamon. From human hands, he took a slice of bread warm from solar ovens, soft, dusted with sugar. He wept. I didn't know food could have memories, he said. We told him we baked them in. He returned with friends. Quiet ones. Curious ones. They didn't speak, but they listened. We showed them games and how to lose with grace. They taught us how they wrote music without sound, just pulses in the air, rhythms in bone. Their elders tried to stop them. You will be changed, they warned. Yes, they said. That is the point. Change became communion. They taught us to dance on magnetic waves, surfing the ion winds of their moons. We taught them to whistle. They read to us the myth of the first silence. We played them Ella Fitzgerald beneath alien auroras. The council held emergency meetings. Their presence is destabilizing, they said. But one old archivist stood and replied, so did spring to winter. The Vurathi began sending their own to us, officially to negotiate. Unofficially, to see what bravery tasted like. One diplomat, pale and rigid, watched us build a swing for their young. You are strange creatures, they said. Why, we asked. You move toward danger like it's a sunrise. We smiled. It often is. They began to understand. We took them into the storms, into the black caverns beneath Europa-like crusts where alien winds howled and nothing was certain. They clung to our hands. But they came, and when they stepped back into light, they laughed. That laughter was illegal once. Now it echoed. A Vurathi engineer named Reshel volunteered to leave with us, first of her kind. The council forbade her. She went anyway. On the bridge of our ship, she asked, "Why aren't you afraid of what we might become?" "We're excited," we said. She didn't understand, until she did. Until she learned that every species that walks into the unknown must first walk through its own fear. That bravery isn't about absence of caution, but the presence of faith. Not in safety, but in connection. They tried to call her back. She sent them a song. In human harmony. It went viral. The elders called it treason. The young called it awakening. The cities lit up with colors once banned for being too loud. They painted murals of our arrival, not as conquerors, but as hands. Open, offered, waiting. We didn't promise salvation. We only promised to dance. And in time, they accepted. 1 year later, they launched their first non-military vessel in 3 centuries, a joint craft, with human gardeners aboard. Its name, written in 2 scripts, meant the leap. When it launched, the people cheered, and we stood beside them, hands over hearts, not because of pride, but because of possibility. In every system we travel to now, they ask us, how did you earn the trust of the Virathi? We say we didn't earn it. We shared ours first. They feared the unknown, built walls against it, laws upon laws, silence upon silence. But we walked in with open arms. Because that's what it means to be human, not fearless, but willing. Willing to meet fear with wonder. Willing to step into darkness holding a lantern made of stories. Willing to knock on the doors of galaxies and say, hello, we come in peace. May we sit for a while and learn your names. And now, across the Virathi worlds, there are statues of that moment, not grand, not imperial, but simple. A Virathi child reaching out to take the hand of a human. Neither leading. Just together.